Good morning, good morning, good morning. Time check, it is 32 minutes past 7 this beautiful Thursday morning. And you're tuned to Women Radio WFM 91.7, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And this is the Daily News Review, where we run through the headlines and tackle the ones that catches our attention. My name is Hassan Matula, and I have with me here.
My name is
My name is
Olufaya
Olufaya
Bamba.
Bamba. Good
Good
morning.
morning, Nima, once again. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I Okay. Unfortunately, our analyst won't be joining us this morning because she messaged me late last night. I only saw it this morning. She has places. She has an appointment basically, so she won't be joining us this morning. But myself and Nima are well and able to do this with you this morning. Starting off with the dailies before we get into the talking points for this morning. Over to you, Nima.
From the Punch newspaper, fake agency probe, ICPC team grills and battled DG inside police detention. This fake agency, for me, police top list as ICPC uncovers 908
No,
ghost
no, no. Go back
workers.
to that first one again. Okay, no, the second one is where I'm getting to.
Mhm.
Yes, Nima.
Hmm.
Do you know that? So we've always heard of ghost workers, right? We've
Yes.
always heard of ghost workers, but this time around, 908 ghost workers. I'm trying to find the article because I opened it up this morning. Give me a second,
Mhm.
because waiting my eyes see a particular
My mouth no
person,
fit talk.
my man, a particular person put his wife, his
Mhm.
children, and his in-laws
Mhm.
in the salary, what they call it, the salary list, and
Okay.
also, right, and also was collecting the salaries of 12 people besides this.
Things are happening. Anyway, moving on to the Guardian newspaper, 2027 presidential elections. INEC helpless as early campaigns flout electoral acts, fairness rules. How out of school crisis dampens 11.9 trillion naira education funding.
So, still, like, I'm sorry, but I'm going back to that ghost workers one because it's sort of
Okay.
linked to this. So 11.9 trillion naira has been allocated, or was allocated, however way you want to put it, to education. Yes, we have how many children out of school in Nigeria. Yet when you go to schools, the buildings are dilapidated, the teachers are not getting paid well, the uniforms are in shambles. So when you see this kind of money, you're wondering who's actually getting this money, because
Yes.
I'm now wondering, is it a case of maybe ghost workers as well? Because like that's why I'm linking the two of them together, because I cannot for the
Yes.
life of me understand how such money is allocated to an industry and we cannot see the A to Z or the B of it, of how this money was spent. And this only happened because the ICPC, who's now, like, since nobody's listening to anybody now, the ICPC is now the body that, when it comes to fraudulent activities, scandals like the Phantom Agency, is the ICPC. I think El Rufai as well, when it came to the El Rufai matter as well, ICPC. Do you know what it means? So it means that 908 ghost workers, is it possible that these monies were paid to people that are not actually teachers? Were they paid to schools that are not in the system? Were they paid to ghost schools? And that's what is making my brain,
Buggle.
yeah, my brain is combusting inside, because I'm just like, wait, what? Do you know what it means for a particular individual to place the name of his wife, his son, his mother-in-law inside the payroll, plus salaries of 12 workers? Of course, the Nigerian police force recorded the highest number. This one has always been ongoing, but I'm worried that we also see that maybe this is also affecting the education sector, because fake workers collecting salaries. So there are people that you think, oh, we're allocating 11.9 million trillion, beg your pardon, to
Trillion.
to this sector, and then we don't know where the money is going to. Is it possible that the money is going, is people are swallowing the money? Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. But then we also have fake workers. Now to go down the list, the National Water Resources Authority had 80 suspected fake workers, right? Federal Ministry of Works, 56 fake workers. Ministry of Affairs, 24 fake workers. Ministry of Defense, 19 fake workers. Ministry of who else again? Electricity, Industry, Trade and Investment, 17 each. Ministry of Health, 15. Office of the Head of Service of the Head, the OHCS, 12. When you go down the list, you're wondering, wait, because they haven't finished investigating this thing. And when I saw this 11.9 trillion, I was like, wait, what? But we are in Nigeria where it seems like, nobody seems, where the order of the day is, nobody is really
probing into anything.
There are no consequences. Nobody is
Yes.
called to be accountable for these kinds of things. Yesterday we talked about David Umahi, the Ministry of Works, and the whole scandals that have been trailing him since he was governor of Ebonyi State, but nobody has said anything. On here, we've talked about Uche Naji, the former minister of ICT, who forged his certificates, and still they are now probing him, but the thing is slow, the needle. Meanwhile, if it was one guy down the road who they said was fraudulent, you will see justice like this. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to this day newspaper. Otisumi. Uzodima, Southeast governors have agreed to work for president in 2027 poll. So, Trump to Tinubu, US stands firmly with Nigeria against terrorism.
Moving on to the Daily Trust newspaper. Dangote refinery resumes petrol sale in Naira. Adupel. How inmates allegedly
Don't say Adupel because the money they is an increment. So they're selling in Naira.
No.
I think it's now 1,200 and something. As at yesterday on my way home, I bought fuel from one of my favorite filling stations, 1,260. And I knew that for them to have increased it, it means that everywhere don't tight. Like you said, this one, NBC sells at 1.3.
People were outraged when they were selling in dollar. So maybe now that they've started selling in Naira, my 3 working days will work. They'll bring it down.
Forget about your 3 working days, Konisha. Forget.
Anyway, where was I? Okay, how inmates allegedly ran car theft syndicates from Bauchi prison.
Let me give you the gist. Wait, let me give you the gist. So this guy is in prison. He meets 2 other inmates, and then he teaches them how to run a car theft syndicate. They leave prison, and then he's their oga. He's in prison. It's not that he's outside.
He's in prison, but the other 2 have left.
They've been released from prison, right? Okay. And then he was running this car theft syndicate from the prison. Apparently he has a mobile phone, so they would steal a car and then call him to say they've stolen the car, give him the specs of the car they have stolen, and then he now calls his customers, and then the transaction occurs. Yeah, it's not fabu, it's real life.
The last time I saw this thing was in a Nigerian movie.
So, I mean, we see this even in American movies, in foreign movies, but they catch them eventually, or it's like 7 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner, eventually. And I suppose this is the case of these inmates at the Bauchi prison, but the fact that he could go that long. In the Vanguard newspaper, we have NBA election controversy. Badejo Okusoya braces for the storm, pledges reforms. We had quite a few of our callers yesterday call us to ask why we're not saying anything about this controversy. And like I said yesterday, it's still ongoing. There's really nothing concrete, because what's happened is, for those that don't know, is we currently have a female NBA president, the first in, I think, 33 years. But the scandal around it is that when people were voting, some people had come out to say they were unable to vote, that there were glitches, it took them too long to vote. That's number one. Number two was that the OTP, according to the rules, the code of the rules, the bylaws or whatever, they said when you you apply for something and they say code of they would send you OTP. That's one time password.
Yes.
The rules and regulation was that the OTP would be sent to people's phones, but it was sent to emails. So that also apparently lengthened the time for them to be able to vote because they were waiting for the OTP to enter their phone. So one factor is saying they were unable to vote. The process wasn't smooth. The other factor were like, oh no, it was smooth. Quite a few people came and said, oh, it was smooth. It was the smoothest in years. In fact, they are calling upon INEC that INEC should come and learn from the Nigerian Bar Association elections because it was smooth and all of that. Now, Badijo, Okusa, who's the president, had people that were running. There were two other in the running of it, and they said no, that apparently the former president had a hand in it. There's the former NBA president had a hand in it as well. I mean, there's been conflicting opinions. Some are for, some are against. Some even say the whole thing should be scrapped. The former president Osigwe had said that even during the process, they were hackers. They were trying to stall the election, but they were able to overcome it. Things like that are what has surrounded, this election that just happened. All things being equal, if they come to a consensus and all this is put to bed, she will be sworn in on the 16th of August as the female president of the NBA. I'm biased because I'm like, it's a woman and she's qualified for it because we went through her profile and she's really, really like. The fact that she went back to school after 10 years of working to be a lawyer and she's gotten to this point, for me, that's inspiring. But I also understand how people might feel cheated. What makes me worried is that come 2027, is this the same thing that's going to happen? Because if we recall, during the 2023 elections, similar reactions surrounded the last election. Yeah, I was pregnant, so I could not even go anywhere. But I do recall that people said, oh no, the system, there were glitches in the system, people could not vote. They announced winners in some places while people were still voting. I hope at some point we would be able to make elections free and fair in Nigeria, as opposed to just this hanky-panky that happens, like whether it's the NBA, whether it is the presidency or governorship or whatever it is. And here's the thing, no matter what we do, the person that lost will definitely say that there was hanky-panky. Whenever I host birthday parties, children birthday parties, one of the things that I always tell the children to do, we have a is it confession, I will call it. I tell them I will not cry if the other person wins. I will be happy for the winner. And I think that's maybe something that they should inculcate for the elections. You do pledge, you do a pledge. I, Ofumilaya Bangbala, solemnly declare and promise not to raise dust if and when Nima wins the election.
Not when, if.
No, if it's conditional, when is that it will happen?
Okay, yeah, not if, not if.
When she goes in, that kind of thing. I always make them do that pledge. And guess what? No matter how much times I tell them to do the pledge, they're still premium tiers. But the last birthday party I hosted, it was better, right? Because most of the kids there already knew me. Because, like church friends and whatever. So I already knew that, she's going to ask us to do the pledge, and then we do the pledge. So I think that's what we should do. We should inculcate that. That they'll be happy. I know that this doesn't absolve illegal activities. So if we see actual illegal activities happening, the pledge doesn't work because raise dust, if you will. But if it is going to be free and fair, please, I do solemnly swear that I will not be upset. I will not cry. I will not shout that Nima won the presidential elections. Instead, I will be happy for Nima. I'm saying that because Nima is running for presidency, maybe 2031, 2035, 2030.
Maybe 2040.
2039.
Okay. Oh yeah, 2039.
Have a couple of years. So yeah. Let's wait till that time. Okay, that's it from them. No. We have one more. NAFDAC targets markets, bars, motor parks, begins nationwide raid on sachet alcohol. This has been a dance between NAFDAC and Nigerians because as of last year, it was nipped in the bud. They banned anything sachet alcohol, then they came back again. I don't know, it's a dance because the people that are making money from it are making money from it, and the trail goes all the way up. So this has been the dance. Whether this is going to end up being erased, who knows, because they're trying to curb alcohol abuse and then young kids drinking alcohol. Okay, Premium Times newspaper.
Appeal court affirms final forfeiture of 293.9 million naira properties.
You not say that thing well, say it again well, properly. How much did they find?
That was why I stretched it. 293.9 million naira. Wow. Anyway, wow. And properties linked to retired general.
Yeah. Remember that this week, was it Monday or maybe last week, we also saw money that was recovered from Malami, and money that was recovered from Aisha Achimugu. And Aisha Achimugu's one has been the highest so far, right? And all these properties and all these monies, if they share all these monies for Nigerians, it will go around. But how can an individual amass such wealth? That is ungodly. It is wicked. What do you want to use this money to do? At the end of the day, when you die, I suppose that's where the Muslims have it, because they're like, you don't come up to this earth, you don't come to this earth with anything. You will go naked and you'll just be wrapped with a cloth, a white cloth, isn't it? And then you go. Christians, they'll buy caskets and all of that, and that one caskets are expensive. But with the Muslims, I'm with the Muslims on this one, because all your 300 million that you're stealing, all your 12 trillion that you're stealing, at the end of the day, in rich waiting, you'll be buried with white clothes. That's you do not come to this world with anything, you go with nothing.
Yes. Ondo Assembly crisis, 21 lawmakers ask Speaker to resign or be forced out.
Yeah, on this, I think we have this as one of our headlines, this wording. So I'm just going to keep it moving. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it moving, because when I read this, I was like, oh, okay, let me keep it moving. In the Nation newspaper, also demand Southeast governors resolve to back Tinubu in 2027. Osun 2026, Accord stakeholders escalate showdown with Adeleke over Gbenga Hashim. Let me tell you what happened. So, what's his name? Adeleke used to be in PDP, right? And then he moved to Accord late last year, or early this year, I don't recall. And Accord Party now said, if you really, really want to show that you're with us, you have to publicly endorse Gbenga Hashim, who's the presidential candidate for Accord.
Okay.
Because we see that you are still fraternizing with the sitting president, who is of APC. They said, if you want to prove to us that you are with us, you have to endorse our person. And it makes logical sense, to be honest, because if I'm in a particular party, why would I want to be endorsing somebody from another party? It means that I joined this party and I'm with that everything, whether I don't like the person that they are bringing for governorship in or your state, it doesn't matter. As long as I have aligned with that party. I mean, before you join the party, you should have known what's obtainable. Like, you should have known who they were going to present as maybe governorship candidate or House of Reps or whatever. You should have known. So you cannot be, of which you just even left PDP. The Accord now women accepted you. They're not asking you to do something because they need you to be able to tell the people of Osun State. You want to go back as governor of Osun State. They need you to in Osun State. But he refused, and they gave him a deadline. But now the deadline has elapsed, and so it looks like they're saying that they're trying to say whether they want to remove him, they're not going to support him as governor of Osun State. I don't like, and this election is not next year. The Osun State election is happening next month. So when you look at these things, you're like, I was like, well, this thing makes sense. Why did he just come out to endorse? Because there's no how you would have known that they were going to ask you to endorse or sit with or side with.
Obviously.
Yeah, it makes like if I'm in women radio now, why would I be endorsing another radio station? When the kids came yesterday, I said, "Do you listen to radio?" Yes. There's no how I was going to ask them what, because I don't want you to say on air which radio station you listen to. I have nothing against other radio stations. We're all one, journalists, media personnel.
Yes.
But why would I?
Why would you deliberate exactly? Why would you deliberately endorse someone else?
Someone else? What's my phrase?
The more we look, the less we see.
Is it phrase? My sentence? My motto? Is it motto?
Whatever.
I don't. But whatever, I don't know. Nigeria, really, really, because this is a no-brainer. It is really a no-brainer. But anyway, moving on to the cable newspaper, Shawore seeks to compel DSS DG Onanuga to testify in cybercrime trial. If we all recall, Shawore was arrested on, is it the allegation that he cybercrime, hate crime against the president because he had called the president a criminal? And they've been having this dance since his arrest early on in the year. Where will end up in this matter? Because Shawore is also, I think, presidential candidate for his party. So we'll see how it lands, because this drama in Nigeria is enough. Nollywood doesn't need to be going outside to get stories. We have enough stories even within our politics. We've been doing great work when it comes to talking about politics in Nigeria. I've seen quite a few movies that highlight what goes on really in politics in Nigeria, but we need more, because everything we have read today is a topic for Nollywood. Okay, I have gone back to our family. Fubara backs Kingsley Chinda as successor. We haven't heard of Fubara in a long time, ever since he stepped down and said, okay, he's not going to go for a second term. And now he's backing the Rainbow Coalition in Rivers State. All the best, like I say, to everybody involved. Yeah.
Moving on to the Daily Post newspaper. Further proof we are working. Presidency reacts to Trump's letter to Tinubu.
Yeah, because President Trump had sent a letter to say, oh, well done with the work against insecurity in the country.
Against terrorism.
And terrorism, yes. Next up.
Boko Haram has mega sponsorship from within, outside Nigeria, says ex-army chief.
Oh, yeah. That goes without saying. If you've watched enough movies on terrorism, you know. That goes without saying. Yeah. In the Tribune newspaper, federal government should make, I put this on because of you, Nima, this already. Federal government should make NYSC optional for graduates. I think that's one of our headlines this morning.
Actually, anyway, let's wait till then.
Yes. Minister seeks police support to protect critical power infrastructure. Lastly today, Nima.
From the pen pushing newspaper, Tinubu appoints Fayose Rural Electrification Agency chairman, names 25 others. Policemen extort Independent Corrupt Practices Offences Commission, collects 53,000 naira through POS.
Are you ready for my story time?
Yes.
You know how policemen extort people? Like, we're not going to pretend that they extort people every day. If you have a car, you're on a bus, you're on a bike, the extortion is...
Let me also ask you a question before you continue. So the last time I went for an exam, I was walking. I saw this policeman who stopped people and were asking for money. And I was like, if it's me, so far I don't break any rules, I have all my papers complete, I'll not give them money.
Nima, how many people, wait now, Nima, how many people are in prison? Remember we talked about a 14-year-old that was taken to prison, that the parents had been looking for 18 years and finally found him this year. They were looking for him. Do you know how many people are in prison, are in the jail cells, police cells, because of this kind of matter, because she did not want to? They're like, oh, you think, oh, we'll show you.
You've answered my question.
Yeah. So, and that's what we're talking about. So these individuals, these police officers, saw of course somebody, and they will pay us, and then they followed the person to POS to collect 53,000 naira, unknown to them,
with charges.
with charges. Unknown to them, the person was an ICPC official. So yeah, they've been dismissed. But I really, really liked. But at the same, I liked it. But at the same time, I was like, this man can do this thing because he's in the position of authority.
Yes.
What happens to, like I mentioned, the millions of Nigerians? Excuse me. Yes, the common man who's in prison right now. A couple of years ago, just before the end SARS, I got a call about 12 in the night. I typically don't pick up calls at that time. I picked up. It was a random number. Lo and behold, it was my brother. My brother was in the police cell because he was going for night vigil and was walking there, and then he was carried. So how he got a phone to call, I don't know. Would that have been my case? Would have been looking for my brother for years, but he was there because they just carried him randomly. And you know, yesterday we were reading how the commissioner of police in Abuja was saying that don't allow them to do stop and search. It was stop and search they did to him. That was what that season traumatized my brother. He called me and said, "Oh, help me call so and so person at my church." I quickly called. They had to drag themselves from church. Like, imagine that you are going for vigil and they had to leave vigil to go to the police cell, and they still paid to bring my brother out. My brother did not commit any crime. He did nothing. His crime was that he was going to vigil. My brother doesn't have dreadlocks. In people are saying, how was he dressed? He doesn't have dreadlocks.
He didn't wear on jeans.
Yeah. I know he wasn't wearing jeans. He was going to church.
He doesn't have earrings in his ear.
He doesn't have earrings. My brother sports a low cut. His hench, he's big, but that's it. That's the only thing that you see. And he was not even as big. Now, the bigness that he is big now is that he has married, and his wife is taking care of him. Back then, everything, he had to jet here. You understand? So I say that to say there are lots of young people he met people in prison and he left them because fortunately someone was able to give him a phone to call, and he was able to call his sister who had the number of some of his church members and was able to call people that can't call and call. So it's so pathetic that we have a lot of innocent people in jail and their parents, their family members don't know that they are there, and they've been there for years. So we have some organizations that go who go to fight for innocent people. They go to prisons, but they are not a lot. How many prisons are they going to go to and be checking for people that are innocent? And the process is a very long process. Anyway, it is well with our country. The time right about now is 1 minute to 8, and you're tuned to Women Radio 91.7 FM. This is the Daily News Review. I said the review. My name is Olufemilayo Bangala, and I have Nimetala Hassan here. Our analyst is not here today. Sumbo, unfortunately, she sent her apologies, but she's unable to be here with us. But you can see myself and Nima well and able every day, all day. We are well and able. Our phone lines are now open, 07000 917 917 or 0800 123 5917 or 09155 917 917. You can text us, WhatsApp us, or send us a voice note on 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers to call to send your messages to. We're expecting them. Okay, let's get into the first one for this morning. I'm trying to see which one we should get to. No, let's start with the NYSC one because Unima is here.
I said it this morning that you're my sweetheart. After my heart.
Federal government should make NYSC optional for graduates, says Kila. I'm trying to open this is from the Tribune Online. A renowned political economist and jurist, Professor Anthony Kila, has faulted the federal government's proposed reforms to the NYSC, describing the move as a wrong step in the right direction. What reforms is he talking about? If you remember, there was the redesign of the uniform of the NYSC uniform. There was also the streams that they were introducing: the IT stream, the engineering stream, vocational stream. There's like 6 streams basically, and they said instead of 3 weeks in orientation, it would now be 6 weeks. And when you come out of it, you get a certificate of graduation. No, there won't be passing out parade, beg your pardon.
Yes.
It would now be graduation. Yeah, and so he's saying that look, there needs to be a complete redesign of the scheme rather than all these superficial adjustments. I do agree that they are superficial. He said when the scheme was established in 1973, what they were looking for at that time was what the purpose of it is way different to what is going on now. I feel like what is really paining this man is that many people, when they send you to maybe Lagos State, you rework it to Ogun State, and they said the thing that you want young people, graduates to learn, instead they are learning how to game the system. I was speaking to somebody a couple of weeks ago, and I asked her, oh, she's about to serve, and she was asking me, oh, that's Lagos, she'll serve in Lagos, and I said, why? And I know I sound somehow, but I was born and bred in Lagos, and I served in Lagos. I did not enjoy it. The only good thing that came out of me serving in Lagos was that I met my husband in Lagos. Like, odds are, if I served somewhere else, because I met him at a wedding, and it was, see, I don't know why Nima is blushing, and it was literally as we were we came out of orientation camp maybe on a Wednesday. I went for the wedding on the Saturday. Now, if I was in another state, the odds that I would have come back to Lagos on time would be slimmer, because it'd be like, why am I coming back to Lagos? Because I might as well just stay here. Transportation to go and come and all of that, I probably would have thought about that and not come back home. Plus, my parents don't even live in, but we're not in Lagos at the time, so it would have defeated the purpose. Yes, it was a friend's cousin's wedding. We also had my uncle's birthday, but I didn't have to.
We have a call.
Okay, let's go.
Call not to cut.
Oh, and then so I wouldn't have had to come to Lagos. So that's the upside of serving in Lagos. So, but then there are a lot of people who they don't want to go. And I get it, there's insecurity everywhere. For me, I don't know why. I think what we should have started doing is I don't know why NYSC didn't say.
For me, Evangelist.
Let's go.
Good morning, Evangelist.
Good morning. Can you hear him, Nima? Nima, can you hear him? Because the line is...
I can't hear him. Please do well to call us back. Okay, for me, you were saying something.
I was saying that was the upside, but a lot of people have learned to game the system, and that's what this professor is saying. That look, the government's proposals amount to administrative adjustments rather than the genuine institutional transformation. He said the reforms focus on procedures while failing to address the fundamental purpose of the national service in Nigeria of today. He described the reforms as the elephant giving birth to a rat. He said Nigerians had expected a bold reimagining of the national service, but instead it was changes that, like he said, are more superficial than Kode Kokoro. He said this first lesson in adult civic life is not service, is gaming the system. Right? You have young Nigerians trying to manipulate the posting process because they don't want to go to Jigawa State. And to be fair, rightfully so, because it don't. Hey, there are certain places in Nigeria that I don't even like. The NYSC should not even be posting anybody there because they are rife with insecurity. They are rife with terrorism, and the fact that they still keep posting them there is cause for alarm. Right? He also said most of these graduates begin their adult life by searching for influential contacts rather than seeking preferred postings because they are gaming the system. He said instead of making it compulsory, just make it voluntary. So those who want to go, that the participants will now choose the postings at least 100 kilometers from their usual place of residence to encourage national integration while taking into account contemporary security realities. That's insecurity in Nigeria is what he said. The program would emphasize civic education, leadership development, physical fitness, basic military preparedness, emergency response,
For me,
project management,
evangelization is on
community.
pause.
Okay, let's try and see if we can go. We'll be clear. Good morning. I think
Hear
it's bad
you.
network. Yeah. So, Nima, as someone who's yet to go for her service, what is this where your head is at? Don't make it compulsory, make it voluntary. Or are you like, you know what, make it voluntary, but let's tighten the purpose of it. Let's tighten the what the NYC was meant for. Let me even first ask you, would you mind going anywhere to serve?
Well, so far it is not a state rife with insecurity. Why not? I can go anywhere to serve in as much as the place is safe. To the east, to the maybe to the north, and anywhere, basically. I'm chill with serving anywhere. And I don't think making it voluntary is the solution. See, if you make it voluntary, people will not go. Because I was talking to my brothers last week, and was it last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever. They were telling me of this guy who didn't come back to Nigeria from America, yet he got the NYC certificate. They were telling me how if they decide not to go to their places of primary assignment because they are looking for better connections, they get a better job, they'll do well. And I was like, see you leaders of tomorrow. At the end of the day, would say the Nigerian government is not working. What are you doing? So I don't think they should make it optional or voluntary because people won't go. See, can I use the example of South Korea? It is voluntary for them. What am I saying? It is compulsory for their guys to go for military service, but the system is in place. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's easy for them to go. So if the Nigerian government can do something like that, why not? When it's time for me to serve, I want to serve. I like the idea of camp. When all of them come home to say, oh, we did this and this and that in camp, I'm like, okay, I can't wait for my turn. I want to go. I want to serve. But rather than them posting me to, let's say, Yobe State or Benue State or Borno State, why not somewhere closer? They can post me to the outer states, no problem. So far, there's no insecurity there. But at the same time, I was thinking that we humans tend to want to protect what is close to our hearts. I'm from Ogun State. If you put me in Ogun State and you say, okay, for the betterment of Ogun State, I live in Ogun State, I would want to work better. I pay my tax in Ogun State. You understand? So if I am told to stay in Ogun State, I would try to the best of my ability to do well because if Ogun State scatter is on my head, I'm from Ogun State. I live in Ogun State. Ogun State has to be good for me. So I don't know if they can look into that rather than taking me to Kano State. I'm just going to go there, do what I can do and leave. I wouldn't push myself to do more because it's not my state. The moment I finish serving, I'll leave Kano State.
Yeah.
But Ogun State, I'm already in Ogun State. I was born as a citizen of Ogun State. I can't escape it. That's another thing I think they should look into. And what this man said about uniforms, I'm going to pick his line. Uniforms don't necessarily foster national inclusion or what was the word? Unity.
They don't.
If he uses Adire, only if they use Adire, for example, like the speaker who made the example of maybe Adire, only Yoruba people wear Adire. Now people are wearing it, but it's Yoruba's traditional clothes. So are they saying they'll do danshiki for the Hausas, they'll be judged for the Igbos, and Adire for the Yorubas? That is, they already, what's the English? It's disunity already. Because what do you mean you're trying to unify Nigeria and I'm an Hausa girl, I have to wear Adire? You are picking from a tribe. But this khaki, we've accepted that the military wear khaki. So it is okay for everybody to wear khaki.
Yeah.
The 6 weeks instead of 3 weeks. Nobody should come for me. I think it makes a whole lot of sense.
Really? Have you been to camp before?
I have not, but everybody around me has gone to camp and they've come home to tell me what they do in camp. My brother gave me step-to-step explanation. This is how it is done. And
Yeah.
I'm like, if there are different streams, anyway, I don't really like physical activity. But
Lobaton.
I prefer using my head, anything that would make me think. So
Lobaton.
for me, if I'm going for 6 weeks and we are learning things, we are gaining knowledge, as opposed to I should be marching up and down and be
Yeah.
climbing rope, I prefer that.
But
But like,
that's it's all encompassing though.
yes, yes.
Please call
Bottom.
us.
You shouldn't
Please call us. Pardon?
you shouldn't pick from the bottom
Yeah.
and hit the top.
Yeah.
Look at other things. Saying they want to change the uniform or make it 6 weeks. Let them first look at the issue of insecurity, posting people to places where it's not safe. Because people,
You get it.
youth nowadays, the issue is not actually youth looking for how do I put it? For influential people and influential places, they have no choice. When
Yeah.
they spend so much money on direct posting to the states of their choice,
Yeah.
someone I know went to camp, and when he came back, he was like, Nima, I spent so much money because he wanted to come back to Lagos State. He took flights, go come. You know how much flight is now.
Yeah.
When he got to camp, he had to pay exit fee, pay a lot of money to be able to do his registration in a day and come back to Lagos.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, do you say that kind of person, they should post him to a school? Because when you are posted to a school, that is, you are doing a service.
Yeah.
But because of the money he has spent, he's looking for places where he would get his money back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately, even get more than what he has spent. So
Yeah.
if the government can look into this, I think people would be chill with them going to wherever they were posted or they are posted. My mother told me, Nima, anywhere you're posted to, you would go. It's my father who is like, she cannot go. My mom is
Yeah, that was my parents too.
My mom is of the opinion that NYSC is to foster unity. Go
Yeah.
places.
Well, I'm up. Yeah, yeah. If only we can stay true to that.
Mhm.
I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago that Sumba was talking about how she served in the north and she absolutely enjoyed it. She also said how, after she served in the north, when she started working, she needed a place. She went on leave and she went to the north, to go on. That was what she chose. The same kind of state that she went to. I think Nigeria is really beautiful. There are places that I want to go, but I know that I can't go right now because of the state of what is happening in the country, and it's just so sad. But yeah, if you agree with us, should they scrap? Should they not scrap? Let's talk about it. Call us.
For me, Evan,
really- okay.
I can hear you.
Exactly.
Can you hear him, Nima?
She came to the you know, even human development and everybody. So something how did this to be there? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Evangelist Dixon, for calling. For me, he was saying that he likes the way Muslim Berry also, like you said, sorry, you brought nothing to the world, you're going with nothing. Then he talked about Trump's letter to Tinubu against terrorism, and he said at least when Tinubu was governor of Lagos State, he did things on infrastructure, education. I've forgotten the other thing he mentioned. And he said NYSC. I said I don't like physical activities like that. Can I see what the soldiers rather are going through? Then he also said that us saying NYC should be scrapped, not really. But also when his daughter was posted to Adamawa State, he was like, she can't go. But her mother was like, why not? Because of the insecurity. Anyway, thank you very much, Evangelist Dixon, for calling. We have some messages. I
Go
thought,
ahead.
okay, from Ajayi Olushoga from Udonlai Corridor. I thought the same. US withhold all the aids coming to Nigeria. If Trump applauds Tinubu, then why would they stop the aids coming to Nigeria? Only Nigerians will save Nigeria because we only us understand our pains. Any other foreigner is coming for personal interest. We need growth from home ground. From Kunle from Magboro. He says, good morning, Fumi and Nima. So if and when, I think if fits into that context rather than when. This is because if she wins, she may or she may not win. But if you use when, that means she will certainly win, and it is just a matter of time. Okay, so Kunle, yesterday we were talking about having a positive mindset, not discouraging yourself. That's why we used when. Because I'm going to win. I'm a winner. Anyway, I believe you guys slept well for me, Neymar. If the abundant God-given wealth to this country is judiciously, diligently administered, Nigeria would have been the most beautiful black nation of the world, where whites would compete to belong, while Nigerians would have been the healthiest as well. Unfortunately, the wealth is controlled by a whole lot of words, people celebrating around here, tormentors and looters. Fumi, give me water.
That's Evangelist Shegun Abi.
Yes. Nima Fumi, the young graduates from the inception would have been trained militarily as it is done in civilized crimes. If this had been the case, terrorism wouldn't have reared its head. Thank you for your messages, Evangelist Shegun, Kunle, and Ajayi Olushoga.
All right. Oh, we are so out of time this morning. Okay, let's see if we can. Ondo Speaker gets Sunday deadline to resign or face impeachment. That is from the Punch newspaper. Kilo Shelle. There's a crisis in Ondo State right now where the Ondo Speaker apparently Isha diverted 44 million naira from funds allocated for the reordering of the budget of the Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission. And so the chairman of the House Committee on Information, Olatunji Fabi, said the lawmakers had given the speaker a few more days to resign, failing which would be removed at the next plenary sitting. They also stressed that the governor had intervened in the matter but had allowed the lawmakers to carry out their legislative duties. They said the speaker and his deputy are the ones that are going because he apparently had diverted the money without telling them. My question is it because all of you did not divert the money? Because like 21 of them have decided they're going to impeach him, right? I said the money was supposed to be for the reordering of the budget, right, of the oil producing areas in Ondo State. But him diverting it means that he has to go because, and here's what is interesting. In this whole article, I have not seen anybody say, what did you use the money for? Return the money. All they've just been saying is,
he diverted the funds.
And you see why I say that we're not focused in this country?
Nigeria is a place.
Okay, it's a place, true. But Nima,
see, I've been telling myself that I am never going to be negative about Nigeria because I am Nigerian. I live in Nigeria. See, we just have to be positive, even when the matters are turning on your own. How do you always say for me? Anyway, like you said, they've just been speaking about diverting funds. Nobody has said return the money. Nobody has said, what did you use the 44 million naira for? Nobody has said, okay, return the money. Are they trying? I'm going to ask you a question. Are they trying to say if he had shared the funds with them, they wouldn't call for his impeachment? Are they trying to say if that money, like they knew what he used it for, they wouldn't have spoken up? Because while we are saying he diverted funds, they have not called for the return of the funds. At least during the this ICPC fake agency scandal, they have spoken of that. What did Adeyemi use things for? How did Adeyemi do the funds, the offices? But this one, they are just saying he diverted funds, so he must go. What did he spend the money on? I want to know. For me, can you hear me?
I don't know.
You are flawed.
Yeah, like what did you spend money on? I don't know. I did not spend the money. I can only tell you what I spent money on yesterday. I can give you a list of it. And what I want to spend money on
I
today.
told you to take me out. You did not take me out. You're saying
I told you let's go and meet our our president. Yeah. That is president. Yeah.
I don't know for him.
Well, we've come to the end of today's program. But today was very, very interesting because Nigeria, like I say, the more you look, the less you see. I can't wait for a Nigeria where I look and I'm seeing. I cannot wait. But till then, We hope for a better Nigeria. Remember that you should go get your PVCs. The registrations are happening again. Get your PVCs. Excuse me, so that we can vote en masse in January 2027. Don't sit in your house and be complaining. No, now is the opportunity for you to get to determine who you want in governance. With that being said, Nima, it was so great doing this with you this morning. 9 o'clock is the news, 9:05 is her lens, and then see you at 9:05 for her lens. Stick with us. This is Women Radio 91.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. Bye for now.